Hello and welcome to this card reading for August the 3rd through August the 9th, a big week. My name is Angelyn. Thank you for joining me. If you have joined me before, I appreciate you coming back. If you have not joined me before, I invite you to come back next time. All right, so listen, this week, not only is it the first week of August, okay, and we are in Leo season, we also have a full moon on August the 9th, and we have Lionsgate that is August the 8th. Both of those are very big energies. August the 8th, if you've never heard of Lionsgate, it's a portal. It's an energetic portal, and it is connected to Sirius. It's connected to the ancient Egyptian mythology and lore, and it is the big, it's like the sun energy during Leo time. That is also a portal. I mean, it's just like the biggest of the biggest energies. It's a great time to go out and sky watch. There's meteor showers that happen every year during this time. It's a good time to meditate. It's a good time to charge your tools outside in the moon. The full moon again is Saturday. Lionsgate opens fully on Friday. There is a lead up to it, and there is they call it the shadow before and the shadow after. So things typically get a little bit bumpy in around the 20th or so of July, and then they continue to go bumpy because it's just big energy. So it shows up in our lives as bumpy. Like things are like, gosh, that was not as easy as I thought. Or, wow, I thought that I was only gonna owe $200 and I owe $2,000. Good grief, it's like bigger. Now, I feel like, are we still in Mercury retrograde? Gosh, I wish I knew. I'm actually not sure. Mercury rules my chart, and so I don't really worry about Mercury retrograde all that much. Apologies that I did not look that up before I started this video. I will put it in the comments or in the description about Mercury retrograde. So August the 3rd through August the 9th, we're going to start out with themes that we are going to be seeing during this giant week. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is beautiful energy. It is creative energy. There is a feeling of there's a lot of gifts, a lot of creation, a lot of choices. Sometimes it can indicate a lot of money. It can indicate a lot of things coming into you. So this isn't bad. It can feel, I think, sometimes a little bit overwhelming. It can feel like you're spinning plates. Is that the right term? Trying to balance plates, spinning, I don't know. But it usually is quite lucrative. It's like, during the Nine of Pentacles time, you might have a lot of ideas on how to raise money for whomever, and then all of them somehow bring in, exactly what you need. So it's a great card, beautiful energy. It doesn't feel, I always connect myself and ask, the energies that be to influence my perception in the ways that need to be influenced during these reads. It feels very open. Okay, so let's just move on to what the week is going to look like. Like I said, a very big week energetically already, just because we're in Leo season. We have Lionsgate and we have the full moon. All right. Okay, this seems doable, y'all. All right. The first card is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is young, very eager, doing their best, going in and maybe saying some things that are unwise without realizing it. Remember when you were younger? If you're not younger, if you're younger, maybe you'll later look at this time now and see that this is true, or maybe you can reflect back on even younger times. But when we're younger, lots of times we just say stuff we don't know. We don't know how it's going to land, how it's going to impact. That we've all done it, where we've said something and then somebody in the room goes, or, oh my gosh, or that hurt my feelings. Why did you say that? And we had no indicator or hit that it was going to do that. That's the energy of the Page of Swords. He's facing the Fool. Okay? So the Fool is a beautiful card. The Fool is, there's just a certain amount of work that you have to do to even be a fool. There just is. To be able to have an open heart and start something and be willing and open to deal with whatever comes, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it now. Like, think about that. That takes some work. And the Page is trying to silence the Fool. See? See how he's holding his sword? So, I would say, be mindful of your interactions with younger people, people who are younger than you. Do not steal their light. Do not steal their joy, their fire. If there are younger people who are wanting to organize themselves collectively to go and protest something, let them. Let them. It's something they need to do. Don't worry about it. Okay? Be mindful that you're not stealing or taking from someone else who has, you might view it as a more naive view. They might view it as a more hopeful view. Okay? Don't be a stick in the mud. We're looking at, okay, so this is what comes after the Fool. Be so mindful that you're not stealing somebody's fire, taking someone's fire, because it will hurt them. And then you have this whole other thing going on, okay? And you might, hopefully, because of this reading, be able to catch yourself as it's happening and stop it. If you don't, you need to know when you're doing your reflecting, when you're doing your apologies, that you probably did hurt them. You probably did hurt their heart. You probably did impact them. And you're going to need to learn a very, very hard lesson about that. Now, the lesson will bring more stability. This Three of Pentacles will bring more stability, more understanding. But it might feel like a hard lesson for you. I think either way, there's going to be learning. I think apologies are important here. Yeah, that seems to be a very important part. Making sure that you're doing your work to really look at what was it that I almost just said just then, and why? Like, where did that come from? Why did I want to say that? Or why did I say that thing? Have awareness. I think one of the potential pitfalls here is that lots of people don't have the awareness that they've hurt someone, and many people don't say, "You've hurt me." So I would say we just need to be really, really, really mindful of our interactions. No matter what, at the end, make sure that you're learning what you need to learn from the experience. The learning is what's going to create more stability. It's going to create a greater foundation. You're going to feel stronger, more confident as you move into a time of greater expansion. We all do it. It's one of those like ongoing things that all of us do. We always have these like moments of stability before we grow and go into a bigger thing. And then there's a period of ease after the big expansion. Toward the end of the week, even though the energy is big, even though we're looking at a portal that's opening. We're looking at a full moon in Aquarius, y'all. Big energies. It's gonna feel protective. It's gonna feel comfortable. It's going to feel okay. Now, the Queen indicates that the work has been done. So again, I think that she's just reiterating that it's going to be even more important that you are just paying attention to your words. You're paying attention to the way that you're impacting people, and you're saying sorry when you need to. And then you're going back and you're doing the work to examine the whys within you. Why am I thinking that way? And then question it. Question it. That's what the work is. Questioning. Why did I feel that way? Gosh, I wonder where that came from. Who can I talk to about this? I should write about it. Maybe I should do a meditation about it. You know, there's a million different ways and things that you can do. But I think the overarching thing here is that we need to make sure that we are being very mindful. I'd like a couple of clarifiers on the Queen of Wands, just for my own validation. Okay. The clarifier was the Knight of Wands, the card that comes just before the Queen of Wands. The Knight can move too quickly. The Knight can feel a little bit sassy, hot-headed, might speak, again, similar to the Page at the beginning of the week. So I feel like that what this is telling me, the Knight comes before the Queen, as I just mentioned. And he's clarifying that the Queen is a result of having done the work, having gone through the motions, understanding where did that feeling come from, where did that idea come from within me, and I need to figure out if that's actually correct or not. That discovery and that willingness will take us into more confidence, more health, more wealth, more resources. The more you clear out of your energetic system, the more resources you have, the better you feel, the more you're able to give to others, the more you're able to take care of yourself. All of it's good, all of it's growth. All right, what do we not see coming? What do we not see coming this week? Okay. So what we don't see coming this week is a clash, some kind of like disagreement, argument, a clash of ideas. You might feel conflicted or ambivalent as you're doing this work. It might feel like it's going nowhere, in fact. And, you know, we might feel like we cannot keep going. We might feel like there's no work there to do. There is. You've got to just keep pushing. You've got to just keep asking questions. You have to, right? Like that is the work, is the willingness to go back and do the work again and again and again and again, even though you've done it a million times already. That's it. That's the magic. All right, so what's the advice this week? More wands, you guys. So many wands this read. Okay. The advice is to pivot. The advice is to make sure that no matter what's happening, that we're not too rigid and that we're willing to move, we're willing to shift. I think that's really probably the perfect advice because of the big energies, because of what's happening in terms of energy and astrology this week. It's just big. We've got to be willing to shift directions quickly, easily. The other piece of advice is the Four of Pentacles. Maybe, so the Four of Pentacles is about finding the places of lack. This is an ongoing lifetime job, by the way. This is not something, if somebody says, I worked really hard to clear up my lack mentality, and I did. No, you didn't. Because I've never met a human, no matter how far they've gone in the work that they've done, that has fully cleared it out. I have met monks. I have met very, very, very accomplished spiritual leaders, and they're still finding places where there's lack. And so maybe that's the way to go. If you're having difficulty figuring out, if you're one of those people that just doesn't notice when they impact or how they impact other people, then maybe that's where you need to go into, where am I seeing lack? Now, this can get a little bit complicated because now you're going to have to learn about abundance mentality and lack mentality, and you're going to have to learn a bunch of ways that shows up. I can't do that in this video. I try to keep these short. So maybe find a couple videos that talk about lack mentality, find a couple of videos that talk about abundance mentality, and try to figure out where is it that's showing up for me. And lots of times it shows up in relationships. It shows up in the way we spend money. It shows up in the way that we use the resources that we have. It shows up in the way that we view resources and the way that we view spending and saving. Not just money, but food. Are you repairing the things on your home that you can? Are you trying to prevent greater damage from happening? If not, you're using lack thinking. Know that the law of attraction says that whatever it is that is in your energetic sphere, whether you realize it or not, that's what you're using to fuel and bring things back to you. Whether you're trying to manifest or not, you are manifesting all the time. So it is very beneficial to do this work. It can change your life. This is why people meet people who are like, oh my gosh, there's some of those weird manifestors. Well, it's because they've done some of this work and they can't believe how much better their life is having done it. And I recommend to everybody that they spend some time doing this work because it is very beneficial. This is going to be a great week to do it. I would say, make a bit of an intention around the full moon and around Lionsgate and how you want to be in greater awareness of your actions and the things that you say, and also the way that you are perpetuating any kind of lack. All right? Be willing to move. Be willing to pivot. Be willing to change your plans easily and quickly. Try not to get attached to stuff this week. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me this time.